choose to. Okay, so to create the VM instance, we go to this navigation menu on top left corner, three horizontal lines, and look for compute engine option. Let's just pin this up so we can use it more often, easily, and go to VM instances. So this is basically getting ready. It won't take much of a time. All right. Now our compute engine setup is ready. We click on create. Um, Now we are being shown these options. This will create VM instance where we'll be hosting our WordPress website. Choose a name of your choice. Make sure it doesn't have any space. For region, we'll select US Central 1, Iowa, because it falls under always free tier. Yeah, there you go, always free tier. And if you look into it, you'll see Iowa US Central 1 for F1 micro. So we'll be choosing this one. Let's just go back to the computer engine. Okay, so it's US Central Iowa. Uh, uh, you can choose any region according to your location nearest to you, but for this tutorial, I'm going to choose Iowa. Regarding zones, zones don't matter much, therefore you can choose whichever one you want. Basically, VM instances are located in zones or zonal persistent disks. Static external IP addresses, which I'm gonna be discussing it later, are regional. So regional resources can be used by any resources in that region, regardless of zone, while zonal resources can only be used by other resources in the same zone. In short, one region can have multiple zones located in several places. So it really doesn't matter, just choose whichever one you want. Now, uh, in machine configuration, we'll be choosing N1, and if we click on machine type, you'll see this option called F1 micro, one vCPU and 614 MB of memory. Shared. This is a shared core option, so we'll be opting for this one. And regarding for boot disk, you can choose whichever OS you are comfortable with. For this guide, I'll be using the LTS version of Ubuntu. Let's see if I can find, yeah, there it is. And LTS means long-term support, which basically means you'll always have the latest patches and security fixes open source world has to offer. Uh, for standard persistent disk and shared persistent disk. Okay, SSD persistent disk and standard persistent disk. We'll choose the size as 20, and 20 gig is enough for now. There's not much of a difference between standard persistent disk and SSD persistent disk in terms of pricing. So you might as well choose SSD due to better speed and performance. Let's just select. Yep, everything is okay here. So now we'll skip this one. This one is all preset. In firewall, you have to enable these two options. Um, we make sure both HTTP and HTTPS traffic options are enabled. And so with the final check, uh, name's Google. Oh, we haven't set the name yet. So Google Cloud Platform. You can basically write whatever instances name you want. Uh, this name will remain permanent. You can't change it later. Okay, so final check. Name Google Cloud Platform. Region US Central 1 Iowa. Zone doesn't matter. Series N1. Machine type F1 Micro. Uh, Ubuntu LTS. Make sure it's not minimal in Ubuntu. Choose Ubuntu LTS version, not the minimal one. And then allow traffic firewall. Yeah, now press create. It's going to take some time, like a minute or two, for this VM instance to come online. You have to wait for a green tick logo next to your instance. So once you see that, um, it would mean you have successfully created your VM instance. There you go. So we have successfully created a VM instance, and it is showing external IP as well as internal IP and all these options.